Yo, you know what? This is coming in from my computer audio right now. I'm trying to get it to come in through my mic. Got a whole lot of crazy stuff going on. Whole lot of crazy stuff going on with Streamlabs right now. So give me 1 second. I really want it to come in through my mic. If it doesn't come in through my mic, then I will just go forward with my computer audio. So give me 1 more second here, folks. Yeah, I think that did it. I think we're back. All right, so can we start over? Mike Porter, thank you for being in here, brother. I missed you, man. We missed you. We missed you on 100 sub stream. I'll get into that in a second. So let's try this again. 3, 2. What's going on, all my good people? It is your Normie Sensei Master Cut here at Normies to Nerds. Let's go ahead and hop up in the dojo. Let's go ahead and get into the dojo. Now that I know you guys can hear me and see me fine. Look, I'm gonna be real. Today, as I said just maybe a second ago, if you couldn't hear me, this is probably gonna be one of the shorter streams that we have on the channel so far. Simply because it's just, your sensei has been all over the place and his mind has not been in the dojo today. From having to work a murder scene at work today, from having to cut the grass and get things ready for family that's coming in town this week. I still wanted to make the commitment to come in here and talk to you guys, okay? So we are still going to talk that nerdy stuff, but it is going to be a bit of a shorter show. I'm going to get into these topics, get into some comments, and then get out because your sensei still has a lot of stuff here to do to get things ready for the family this weekend. And yeah, I got to handle business in that sort. Also, too, another reason why we're late, if you hear a beep in the ground, I just want to get this out the way. If you hear a beep in the background, it might have been right there. Maybe about 30 minutes before I was about to start streaming, my smoke detector started beeping. And I do not have a 9-volt battery at the house to put it in there. So if you hear that beep, that's what it is. But look, without further ado, we are going to get into it. Look, as Trinity says, life is busy. And what's up, Felicity? As crazy as life can get, one thing's for sure is that coming in here, stepping into the dojo makes my day. Makes it all worth it. Makes it all worth it. So, let's get right into it. Look, this is what I want to talk about today. You see it in the trailer, in the thumbnail, the Loki Kang theories. Now, look, I have seen these videos pop up everywhere on YouTube from my man Josh over there from at Dinner Nerds to New Rock Stars, to a whole bunch of other channels that show up in the algorithm right now. It just seems to be the talk. And honestly, as we are prepping up and getting ready to get into hyperdrive for Loki, I think the main question is, are we really going to get King? Is this something that's being hyped up for us? Are we really going to get him? And my short answer is yes. And I want to dive into this in two different ways. The first one is very quick. I think we are going to get, in some capacity, Kang the Conqueror. Whether Kang the Conqueror is the big bad behind all of this, kind of running the show, whether Kang the Conqueror is just going to be name dropped, whether we see him in a post credit, I think that there is no way that we do not see Kang in this show. And it even feels more confirmed than how we felt when we felt like we were for sure going to see Mephisto somehow. Even though when I'm thinking about that theory-wise and how the show ended up, it's like, okay, I don't see how he could have really fit in that storyline. But here, Kang, at least to name drop of Kang, can very much fit in this storyline here. So, getting that out the way, I think it's a sure bet. And I will be disappointed if we do not at least get a name drop of Kang the Conqueror. So what I like to get into of my speculation, that is one of the main things that we do here at Normies to Nerds. And, I must have something spiritual going on. My aura must be happening because you see this beautiful glow that I have about me in this box. You see that beautiful glow? Oh, technology's being a bitch today. But look, but look, with Kang the Conqueror, here's where I think we can go with this. Here's where I think we can go with this. Kang the Conqueror could be someone who is taking over the TVA as a king, and this could very much tie into Quantumania. Now, let's all bring this together because one, we know Kang the Conqueror is cast to be played by who I think is one of the better up and coming actors that we have in the game right now in Jonathan Majors. If you have not seen Jonathan Majors' work, the things that he did in Lovecraft Country, the thing that Jonathan Majors did in Lovecraft Country was like, wow. Like, I loved Jonathan Majors in Lovecraft Country. He made a fan out of me there. His emotion, his depth, it was killer. And then also he showed some versatility. He played a little bit of a different role in Seven Bloods, the film with Chadwick Boseman and all those other good old heads, those OGs, which was a good movie. If you haven't seen it, it's a very good, interesting, and kind of is two different movies in one. But those two projects that I've seen him in, I am a huge fan. So when they said that he was going to be Kang the Conqueror, I was like, sign me up. I'll have what he's at. Like, yo, put a fist in the chat if you're feeling Jonathan Majors, if you're familiar with him being Kang the Conqueror. I think that he would be dope. So with that, he gives me the type of vibe of someone who can play a chilling villain. He just has that demeanor as somebody that could be chilling and really deliver a performance here. So when I'm getting into the speculation of what could be ridiculous, we know that he's going to be in Quantumania. That's what he was announced for. But let's tie that in with Loki. So first things first, can I just give you guys like an off-the-wall theory? An off-the-wall, like, dang, this might be real. The town, the timekeeper, the TVA little like space where they are, like the globe, we see it in the trailer. Sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's light outside. We see the whole like towers in the trailer thing. I'm like, where is this at? And is that possible that could actually be in the quantum realm? And would that make sense? Let me ask you guys, would that make sense for the TVA to have their home in the quantum realm? No, we're getting into theories. We are getting into theories. That's what we do here, Trinity. We're getting into some doggone theories, man. So is it possible that place? So, you know, in Ant-Man, we saw that little town, that little city in the background of when they were leaving the quantum realm. Could that be where the TVA is? Now, hear me out. The TVA is the Timekeeping Variance Authority, or the Time Variance Authority. That's what they are. I said timekeeping. The Time Variance Authority. They have to have an easy access route to work their way through time. And it just makes sense to me that could be in the quantum realm. That whole dome that we see there in the Loki trailers, that is maybe the dome that we see in the quantum realm. And I think that could be something that they come out with maybe at the end of the series. Maybe at the end of the series, you know, they come out and show us where the TVA was the whole time. Because I think for the pretty good part of the show, and I think really the show, the terror part here, like I said, I think it's going to be a little dark. Just like when I say dark, I mean like mentally like uncomfortable. Because you're talking about time and for everything, it's going to feel closed off. See, the MCU, they have a wide world, like it's open. You feel open world, and it's a different thing from sometimes when you watch shows and you don't feel like you see outside. So like, you know, I'm kind of rambling on this point, but like, let's say you're in a building and it has no windows. That plays an effect on your psyche for a little while. And that's what I'm thinking about the TVA and where they are, is that they could be in a place where they have no windows. Like, they are in the quantum realm and you cannot see out of it. And that's why I'm thinking that this whole TVA, it could be set in the quantum realm. All right, so what does that have to do with Jonathan Majors? and Kang the Conqueror. That has a lot to do with it because Quantum World, Quantum Mania, all tied in together. Okay, Quantum World, like come on, Quantum Mania is the Quantum World is going to be the crux of that, and it's looking like we see it in the comics. He's based in it. Kang the Conqueror runs that world. Like I think it's called something like the Negative Zone in comics, but he runs that city. Was it Necropolis or something like that? I forgot the name. Somebody drop it in there. But he runs that city that's in the quantum realm. And to me, I think that they're making the TVA, or at least maybe a center of it. I'm not saying, it doesn't have to be the whole dome, that whole little micro city, but it could at least be the center of it, be in the quantum realm. So with that being said, I think that's how we directly tie Loki into what's going on here. Because yeah, if you're the king of something, you're not going to be having your hand in everything. That's the thing. That's why I don't think we're necessarily going to see Kang be the overwhelming presence, be an overwhelming factor in the show as far as on screen and in the presence. But I do think he's going to be mentioned, and if it's not his name, his role is going to be mentioned very heavily. So here's this theory out. Notice how Loki at the beginning he said 3 space lizards run this whole world. Just 3 space lizards run this whole world and basically decide the fate of these trillions of folks in these different realities, in these different universes. They decide the fate of it. Oh, believe me, Trinity, I'm going to get to those books. Right now, I am just getting started on Thunderbolts. I'm going to get to those books. But it is where, he's talking about these 3 space lizards. And I think he's talking about the timekeepers there. But on top of that, Kang could really maybe have taken out the other 2. I do think Kang was one of the 3 timekeepers that they're going to go with in this series here. But it could be a portion of where maybe even the TVA doesn't know that Kang is the one on top, and that only his love interest, that is the judge that we see in the trailers, that maybe she may know. But it's kind of like an unwritten, like unknown thing right now, is that Kang is actually running things in the TVA. And I find that to be interesting, an interesting way to how Kang could be tied into this. Now, when you're looking at it, I think it is Kang's objective to where, maybe something is effed up in his head to where Thanos was, like, we got to kill half the universe to save the rest of the planets and have a happy life. Maybe Kang has this idea to where he has to keep this one timeline intact no matter what else happens to these other branch realities and these branch timelines. This one sacred timeline, maybe it's a timeline that lets him to be able to keep his power and to continue to do things the way that as he pleases. But this one timeline he has to keep intact. But in the same time, he's letting trillions of others die in these other timelines. So this is where I think Loki is really going to come against what the TVA is doing. Because as terrible as Loki is, I don't think he'd be on track with thousands of people dying. So that's what I'm saying. That's where I think we can go into. And then when it comes to the work that Loki does, maybe Loki allows these multiple timelines to continue in that way. So that's what I like to see. I like to see Kang be kind of pissed off at how Loki is allowing things to go. So that's how I think that Loki is going to tie in here, and really, that's how I think Kang is going to tie in here, and really, excuse. Boom, right back. That's how I think Loki. Honestly, surprised it hasn't happened yet. That's how I think Loki is in Kang is going to tie together here, in all over the place. Sorry, this message sensei. That's how I think Loki and Kang is going to tie together. Is that one, he's going to initially try to use Loki to keep these things intact, to keep the sacred timeline intact, because we do see in the trailers, it's all over the place. Everybody knows his theory now, is that those little branch timelines are going to crash into the sacred timeline, and that's what they're worried about. And I think Kang may be like, I don't give a f about what happens in these other timelines. We have to protect the sacred one, and I think that's where the whole jux of Kang and Loki being pitted at each other will come into play. But either way, like at the end when Loki is successful, I think we do see Kang. That's where I'm putting my money. I think we're seeing Kang in a post-credit sequence, something to where we hear about him and we know who Kang is. Maybe similar to how the Power Broker was, but not as shitty. We hear about Kang, we hear about the person that's ruling things the whole time, and then we see him at the end. All right, so that's the first thing I wanted to hop into. Let's move right on along. All right, actually, let me get to these comments, and then I'll chat with you guys for a little bit. Wayne, what's going on, man? Wayne, Trinity, Mike Porter. Look, I am so thankful for your successful surgery, Mike. Like, we were all like had missed you here. We're glad you're here. Please don't overdo it. Get your rest. We will hold it down till you get back. I am sad that you missed our 100 subscribers celebration stream, but know that you were brought up, man, and like you were here in spirit. Thanks for being back here, man. I really appreciate you being back here so early. Alrighty. Felicity, what's going on? Star Wars MCU OG, Just Fernie, Ashton, how's it going? Felicity said, I got that soul glow. Ashton says, hey, what's up, man? I hope you're having a good day. It's a busy day, but a good day. Just because it's busy doesn't mean it's not good. I'm having a pretty good day in a good mood. Fernie says he was great in the Five Bloods. Jonathan Majors was pretty good in the Five Bloods. I've only seen him in two things, but those two things I've seen him in, I think he was a great actor. And it's one thing to think it's a great piece of work that the whole film is, but how he stood out as an actor, yeah, I'm excited to see him in this role as Kang. And Felicity, you had to watch at least one of those. I would recommend Lovecraft Country more than anything. Mike Porter says, shout out to my nurses. They need help tonight. They are overworked. I told them to chill out because I'm just hanging out with y'all. Hey, that's what I'm talking about, Mike. That's what I'm talking about. Asher says, TVA being in the quantum world is a pretty really good theory, bro. Thanks, man. And Fernie said pretty much the same thing. Don't be Professor Wiki Professor like Lavish, says Second Street Marvel. Do the work. Read the books. Second Street, like I said, I am getting an I Have Marvel Unlimited. That is my starting point and my starting ground. But there's just so much to read, man. Maybe Trinity, if you can help me out, give me a little reading list. I know that's what you do over there at Second Street Marvel for folks. Pretty much everybody in here knows what you do over there. But Trinity, maybe can I throw you some nerd coin or something, and maybe you can like give me a little reading list here. Maybe that can a little personalized reading list when it comes to Marvel. I feel like I got a lot of stuff to read right now, but I am just getting started in Thunderbolts. In Coachella Coastal, what's going on, brother? So look, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on here today at the house. A little bit of a shorter stream, and honestly, a little bit more organized. I didn't even really have time to get into notes of what I wanted to talk about here today. I had this little halo going on around me. Something really happened with Streamlabs where like every time I usually cut on the camera, it's working, and today I cut on the camera and it's like a little different. My microphone wasn't working. I don't know why. Got this beep going on in the other room. A lot of crazy things going on in the dojo, as well as once I'm done here, I got like hours of house cleaning work to do to get things ready for tomorrow. Not hours, we don't live in a pigsty, but I had a couple house projects that I got done, and I just had to move things out the way there. So a little bit of a shorter stream, or maybe not. We're already 22 minutes in, and I got 2 topics left. So with that being said, a couple of show notes. No show this weekend. We might get a show in on Sunday, but no show on Saturday for sure. That is because, again, your master sensei, we are expecting a child, and we have to figure out what this child is going to be. So my family is coming into town to do the whole gender reveal. Fingers crossed for a boy, because as you all saw, my little girl is already running around. So we need a little boy in the house too to even things out. So no stream on Saturday, but we will be back on it Monday. We are starting our 4-day-a-week stream schedule, so that's Mondays and Tuesdays, and then also Thursdays and Saturdays. We're going to be getting into it. All right. You're right. You're right. That's what I mean, but I don't know. I don't know if I was trying to act like I knew it, but like when I see things, I am going to try to repeat it. But like that's why I ask, like, where are these things from here? Where are these things from? But I'm not going to sit here and act like I've read any King comics because honestly, I haven't. I've not read any King comics. Most of the things I know about King are honestly from YouTube because I didn't even really go look him up in Wikipedia to be honest. But knowing the things I know enough about him, I feel like I can make theories on this good stuff for the MCU. So either way, let's talk about goals. We are pushing for that goal of 250 subs. 250 subs by I'm gonna move it back. Okay, I said by the beginning of August, but I want to give myself a chance to get some more subs in here during the What If series, because we're gonna have Loki in June. We're gonna have Black Widow in July, and then What If in August. So I think between those three pieces of content, from here to then, I'd like to get 147 more subscribers into the dojo. That is the goal. That's what we're going to be pushing for. Again, if we hit that mark, I have to come up with a reward for if we hit the 250 mark. I don't think I will be able to, this time, to say, all right, 5 days a week, but possibly that could be something that's on the table. Also looking at the possibility of adding in a morning stream on the schedule. So keep that in mind as well. Alrighty, so with no further ado, let's get into our next topic here. I want to talk a little bit of speculation and a little bit of fan dreaming about some comments that my man Zack Snyder made. My man Zack Snyder was asked, does he like Marvel even though he did things with DC? He was asked, do you still like Marvel characters? And this was a report, the response that he had. He says, and then, does Zack Snyder like Marvel? I do like Marvel. I like Marvel movies, and I like Marvel comics. The Hulk has always been my favorite forever, and Iron Man. The answer is yes, I do like Marvel. So, what I want to speculate about is his favorite character, the Hulk. Because my favorite character is the Hulk, in the MCU at least. In the MCU. I am a huge Hulk MCU fan. Ever since Avengers 1, I fell in love with the Hulk. The Hulk was the first superhero movie I ever watched with the Ang Lee Hulk. But I really fell in love with that character in the first Avengers. And then when I saw him in the Age of Ultron, for some reason, that just hit a whole nother level for me. So yes, I am butthurt about what they did with him against Thanos in Endgame, in Infinity War, and in Endgame. But it is what it is. I am a huge Hulk fan. So my speculation, this is what I just want to talk about and dream about. It would be an absolute pleasure and dream for Zack Snyder to direct a Hulk movie. And this is not being reported. And being here talking to me about it. If you're in here hearing me talk about it, this is something I'm just dreaming about, because he said that he has a favorite soft spot for the Hulk. And I think the Hulk would be the perfect movie for Zack Snyder in the MCU universe. Just think about it this way. It would give, and I know it wouldn't be an origin story, but at this point where we are, Hulk is Professor Hulk. But I think something can happen to where Hulk doesn't want to work with Banner anymore. Right now, they're having a synchronous relationship. Hulk and Banner are having a synchronous relationship. So if there was a movie for Zack Snyder to do, I would like to see him tackle a Hulk movie, just because the flexibility I think it gives him to be a little dark and to be a little raw in the MCU. So that's really all I have on that. One thing I would like to see, now theorize about like a movie that I would like to see him, like a premise of something that I think Zack could do. And again, I see Trinity saying I'm good with no Zack. I'm honestly good with no Zack too, but I had to give it up to him for what he did to make Justice League better than what it was. So I had to give it up to him a little bit there. But I see his style and I see the flavor that he tries to go for. And I think that worked really well with the Hulk going through an internal comment, because here's the thing, an internal conflict. Because here's the thing, again, Hulk and Banner are on a great terms right now, but I think something can happen to where Hulk wants to take over. Maybe Hulk goes and takes, maybe Hulk goes and just runs things and still has the smarts that Banner has, but it's not Banner's personality, and he just goes and runs things. Um, Maybe we go in that line. I I just like to see him really break that conflict down and to really come in and how do I put it, really show that go dark. I don't know if it's a movie that Zack Snyder's doing and you're having a conflict between Hulk and Banner. I want to see Hulk come out on the winning side of it, and we're stuck with that Hulk for a while because I don't think Professor Hulk is something that can stay around for long. All right. So last things last. Last things last. It is last things last. We got some more stills from the What If series, and again, I am just really excited to see what the What If series brings. I talked about it a little bit earlier this week. I think What If is more than just an animated show that is going to be air to the wind. That's going to be just out there with nothing really going on. I think that has nothing to really tie into the MCU. I think that the one character that we see in the What If series that ends up connecting into live action and coming into live action is in Watu the Watcher. It's Uatu the Watcher. I said in Watu. Uatu the Watcher. I think that is one character that is definitely going to connect to live action because all of these MCU shows, all of these MCU shows have done one thing so far, and I say all of them, but it's really been it's only been two. But they introduced a new character that's coming into live action into our films, and I think it's a long play, a long payoff with the What If series. On top of getting the dope What If scenarios, like on top of getting T'Challa being Star Lord, which is ridiculous because like that has huge implications in that universe of him being Star Lord. I think we're getting glimpses into different multiverses, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, and I'll rehash it here. I think the Watcher's roles are to see what's happening across the multiverse, and they're reporting it to the Beyonders. I think that's what they're doing in the MCU at least, is that they're looking at everything that's taking place. You know, even they may have correspondence in different places in different multiverses. So like Stan Lee, he was one of the I think he was a correspondent, for, if you will, for the Watchers. So they're keeping tabs of everything that's going on, and as things are ramping up in our multiverse, in our universe, I think things are ramping up in other universes as well. To where when Multiverse of Madness happens, to where we start to get aware of the universe and things can really just ruin experiment that the Beyonders have, is where I think we could come into play with What If. Because we're going to see these scenarios go down in What If, and I'm not sure how many of these scenarios will come to live action. But again, I think that the Watcher is definitely going to come to live action because I think the Watcher is going to be reporting to the Beyonders, and he may give the Beyonders some bad news that who knows that these worlds, these multiverses, are becoming too wise, and they're starting to figure out what is going on. And to the Beyonders, that might not be such a fun experiment anymore. So what do? They destroy the multiverse. They break it all down and tear it all apart. They tear it all apart. And that could be their plan, and I think Mwatu could be the one that comes out and warns everybody of what's really happening. Because I do think they're going to see that something's going on with the multiverse, but I think Mwatu is going to be the one that's like, look, we have this issue going on with the Beyonders. They want to cancel their TV show. That's basically what happens when things are no longer fun for you. You cancel the TV show, you get rid of the multiverse, and you try to, I don't know, they might try to you rip the universe to atoms and build a new one. All right, but yeah, that's what I'm thinking on the that's what I'm thinking over there on the What If series. But look, I'm probably going to about to get out of here. I'm going to read through these comments and probably get out of here. I, your master cunts, master sensei, master country normie sensei here. Look, I am a bit all over the place at the moment right now. To be honest, this is one of the first streams that I really, just honest transparency here. As much as I try to act like I try to have things together here. This is actually one of the first streams to where I didn't really I didn't even have time to come in here and try to tweet this out or even put it in any discords. It was a very unorganized stream, and I apologize for that. You won't see many of those here. That's for sure. You will not see many of those here at all. So I just, from your sensei to you other nerd senseis who are here in the chat, we were a bit all over the place today, and that's honestly why. Just a lot of things going on here. Technical wise, started the show 20 minutes late. Just a lot of stuff going on in real life and in the stream life with my Halo, with my lights. I did try to purposely have my. Let me know if I look better in the chat at least. I did. I've been going back looking to see, why is my camera quality really dropping off? And I realized that I had my screen, like my output in Streamlabs stretched all the way out. And it's kind of like zooming it in and lose quality. So let me know if the quality here, it looks a bit better on my end, but let me know if it looks better on you guys' end. But yeah, put a fist in the chat if you're still rocking with Normies Nerds. Like, I apologize for real. Like, from the bottom, I can't say enough that I apologize for this little short of a stream in a bit of on unorganized stuff. But I would still hope that I was able to bring you guys some entertainment, some joy, and some good theories in here tonight. Just really real quick, like a lot of this was off the top of the head today. I didn't really have time to write things out because, look, guarantee, like I promise you, a lot of things start off from the top of my head, but as I write things out, that's honestly how it becomes more refined. That's honestly how it becomes more like built out, and I try to make them more foolproofy, if that makes sense. Because when you write your theories out, it's like you have these theories in your head, and then as you're thinking them out, as you're writing them out, be like, oh, that can't work because I have this going on. That can't work because I just said this about this theory. So that's where I really didn't come into play to really just have a full stream in. And to be honest, my complete mind isn't honestly right here, right now. At this point, my daughter's usually put to bed. She came down here today. Like, this beeping noise is going on in the background. There it is right there. It's bugging me out right now. I have to go to the store and get some batteries. So it's just a long stream, but I appreciate you guys for the love and support. So I'm going to get into some of these comments here. So Trinity says, my man Trinity says, Hulk was slow, but it was good. If you think about the first one, yeah, I thought so too. It was a bit slow, but for what it was in the first one, like, it was some memories. Now, I have not seen that movie in a long time. Again, it was the first one, but it was the first one I saw, and I have memories of that film there, and I still think it was pretty good. As much as I agree with you about Zack Snyder, it's too bad that Universal does not like money and won't let Marvel do a movie. It have to be yeah, and I'm with you too. Like, Universal, wising up. Do you see the working? Look, Fernie, we've had a bit of unorganized stream today, but you got me about to go off on Universal. Actually, I'm going to do it. And if Universal hears this and wants to cut off my internet because I have Comcast, so what? I'm a little tight with Comcast anyway. If you want to ask me something about Comcast, Universal. You're right. Seems like Universal does not like money. Because if they were smart, they would do what Sony is doing. You don't have to reinvent a wheel. Everybody in business knows you don't reinvent a wheel. You follow what's working. If you see something working for somebody, you follow that. Fox maybe could have done the same thing, but they wanted to do their own universe. But Sony realized that right now, at least, they can't do anything to get close to Marvel. Even when they wanted to take Tom Holland away, they realized that at this moment, they're not there. Same thing with what they're doing with streaming, to partner with Disney, and to also partner with Netflix. They said, we're not at the point to where we feel like we want to create jumping to the streaming wars like all of these other companies are doing. And to me, that is the smartest thing in the room. That is the smartest thing you could do, is to be self-aware of where you are with your content and how fans love it and enjoy it. Now, Universal, on the other hand, I'm not hip or privy to how they're doing financially. But I must feel like it is not that Peacock is not doing well right now. Because I have Peacock, but it's because it's free, because I have Comcast. That's the only reason I have it. And I'm pissed off at the fact that I have to watch a commercial. Maybe that's the only reason why they're still doing good over there at Peacock. It's because they have commercials. I'm tired at the fact that I have to watch a commercial in the middle of an Office episode. That was the best thing about watching The Office on Netflix, is not having any commercials. But now every time I watch The Office, which is the only reason why I cut on Peacock, is because I had to watch a stupid commercial in the middle of The Office. So long story short, Universal must not like money, because they had the opportunity. You're telling me that if Universal went to Kevin Feige and said, look, let's work something out. Let's make a Hulk movie. Hulk. Your big three. Your Hulk. Outside of the Fantastic Four, outside of X-Men, outside of Spider-Man. Hulk. Biggest all-time character. Hulk smash, iconic around the world. Hulk underwear, growing up as a kid. Hulk t-shirts. Hulk toys. Everybody. Hulk nicknames. You know how many dogs are named Hulk? Come on now. Hulk is one of the biggest brands in the world. And you're telling me Universal has not even considered coming over to Marvel Studios again for whatever reason? Maybe it's because it's Disney. Maybe because MCU and ABC, maybe because NBC and ABC have to go up against each other on cable. Whatever. That maybe they don't want to make their money that way. Suck it up. Because you're going to lose. At least with the Hulk. Because right now, it seems as if Marvel is working their way around your little Hulk thing that you have going on, because they're going to streaming. And I don't care. As long as I get my Hulk content, I would watch a Hulk series. If you want to give me a Planet Hulk series, I will watch it, because maybe that's where we could be right now. Imagine how far along we could be with the Hulk if Universal played along. So really, I'm about to make an enemy out of Universal, because I guarantee you, if Universal was working with Marvel, if Universal was working with Marvel to have an equitable deal between the two, I guarantee you, I feel confident that regardless, maybe the Hulk would have lost his fight in Infinity War, but he wouldn't have got the floor mopped with him like he did in Infinity War. Thanos wouldn't have mopped the floor with him like he did. And on top of that, I think he would have got his rematch. It would have shown that he could take on Thanos if Universal was playing along and had an equitable split, had some type of arrangement with Marvel. Because I don't know. I haven't really heard anybody dig into this, and I'm kind of going with this off the cuff at this point, because my man Fernie just got me heated with this Universal talk. Yeah, I appreciate you, Fernie. The MCU, Kevin Feige, Disney, Marvel Studios, they would not hype the Hulk up so much to give him all of this, as lovable as the Hulk is. They would not show how badass he is right now, because I honestly think Mark Ruffalo deserves a solo movie as the Hulk. They would not do that without a good agreement like they have in with Sony to make money off of it. Why would they? Why would they do that just for Universal to take the Hulk back and say, okay, now we got these Hulk fans, let's start to make our movie? Maybe they should, so they could lose the Hulk with some flops. Because I don't think it would be successful. I would go watch it, but I don't think it would be overall successful. And on top of that, you have Peacock, where you don't even really have the content to have your own streaming stuff. Like, I'm sorry, like the content for me on Peacock just in there. You could have worked that out with somebody else. So that's just where I'm at with that. You got me. Look, I appreciate somebody that can get me going with a comment. And Fernie, you just got me going with it. Let me chill. Let me chill. Fernie says it'd have to be a fight with Red Hulk or something. Yeah, I would like that too to see a fight, another fight with Red Hulk, and I think we are going to get that. But I want to see them dig into the World Breaker Hulk or the Immortal Hulk. I want to read those comics there. That's on my read list. I have a huge read list of comics. I have little time to read it, but hopefully I have some things opening up, which will open up my time to get into some more books. But yeah, I would love to see that play out, or at least like a Planet Hulk situation. Cashin says, the more I think about it, the more I realize that you're right about how Hulk should have gotten a punch or something in on Thanos in game. Yeah, something. He like the Hulk didn't even really get a good fight scene. Like you saw him out there still smashing stuff. Hulk was still smashing in the background, but he's an OG Avenger, and he just didn't get the love that I thought he deserved. And who knows? Maybe if I think there's some things behind these scenes with Universal that might have happened in the realm before I was really into studying what goes on between studios and these characters here. Something might have happened between the first Avengers and the ones moving beyond that because they've really gypped my man. It'd be cool if we saw the other what if universes in live action during Secret Wars. I like that, Fernie. That's exactly what I'm thinking, Fernie. Is that we in Secret Wars, when all of these things come together, I think Secret Wars is when we see Watu in live action. And by then, I think we could have like 3 or 4 seasons of What If. I think we have 3 or 4 seasons of What If. And if you're not watching it by the 3rd or 4th season, that's on you. But what it would do is entice people to go and watch all 4 seasons of What If we're at that point when Secret Wars comes out. Yeah. And you just have all those characters come out in live action. That's how it ties in together. I love it, man. I love it. Ashton says, it was okay, bro. It was a good stream regardless. I always love chatting in the chat. Appreciate you, Ashton. Appreciate you, man. The same to you, Trinity. Nowhere else to be right now, Trinity says. I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate it. And Fernie says again, yeah, 100% with Ashton. Good stream. Thank you, guys. That really means a lot to me. And here's the thing. It gives me confidence because if I can give you guys a good stream, if you're being honest with me, if you're not trying to just have me go cry over there on my futon in the studio in the dojo after this, if you guys are really being honest with me, it's a good feeling because a lot goes into these, and Trinity knows. He's Trinity, Fernie, you got your stream going on too. You put a lot of work into your streams, and you want them to be exactly how you picture them out. And I know that doesn't happen all the time. But if I can get to like 90% of what I would like to produce when I'm out here, or at least 80% at least of what I would like to produce at this point, I'd be satisfied. And honestly, other than this glow right now, technically wise, I'm liking what we have. But just my head is all over the place right now, to be honest. That I'm glad that you guys are still picking up when I'm putting down here. And who knows, maybe if I wasn't so vocal about this, maybe nobody would even have felt that way about this, noticed, picked up what's going on here, if that makes sense. But I just appreciate you guys sticking it out and showing love for it. So again, come back, hit the notification bell. If you do not see anything happening on Sunday, we will be back on Monday at 9 o'clock talking that good old MCU stuff, a bit of Star Wars. Tuesday at 8, we have our good man, Coop, from Certified Gumbo. Coop's going to be in here. We're going to be talking Bad Batch. He's going to be our guest, Star Wars Sensei. And we are going to really go in. Look, the first half of those conversations are always about the Bad Batch. But then we spend the second half talking about some Star Wars stuff. So what I think we have here is going to be a good conversation because I do want to know, Thrawn is one of the most interesting characters to me right now. If you were in here with me with Star Wars Santa, we were talking about characters I connect with. I really connected with Ezra, and Ezra and Thrawn are so intertwined. So I'm really excited to have this conversation with Coop. Really excited to have that conversation with him. And I'm excited for what we'll see with Bad Batch tonight, to be honest. Honestly, the reason why I don't get into doing prediction videos on the Bad Batch and things like that, I just don't feel like I am, again, try to know my lane, try to know my place. I honestly just don't feel like I'm there right now to be able to produce high quality content on talking about my theories, at least alone here by myself. Some theories about what happens with Star Wars. Maybe in a year or two, when I understand the culture a bit better and I rewatch some things and get more into the lore, understand what cameos could possibly pop up. But honestly, just my little short take on what we could see with Bad Batch tonight is just, I think we could see some more. Like I said, I think every fourth episode. I know it's technically episode 5, but when you come into these regularly dropped episodes, I think it's a fourth episode. Or maybe I'm off. It is the fourth episode coming up right now. My head's all over the place. I think every fourth episode we are going to be getting a plot-driven, bigger story-driven episode. And I think the way that the last episode left off, when they were talking about having the Bad Batch there to create their superior clone, I think we're going to see some more about Omega, or what that superior clone could be, and why the Bad Batch is so important to those plans. I think that's just to leave it short and be short there. I think that's what we can see tonight or in the morning in Bad Batch. But look, that's all I have for you guys tonight. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all for dropping in. Look, again, we're going to be back to normal either on Saturday or either on Sunday or Monday. We're going to be back and being a well-oiled machine and rolling in with the good content and stuff here going on. But I appreciate you guys for the love and support for dropping in here. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you are in here and you have not already. For everybody who has, let's continue that grind to 250 subs. I know we can do it together because I can't do it by myself. But with you guys, I know for a fact that we can get there. So look, as I always say, go watch something MCU. Go watch something Star Wars. Go watch something DC. Go watch something nerdy. Share it with a friend. Create normies. Bring them here. And let's turn them into nerds together. I am your normie sensei, Master Cunch here. We're Normies to Nerds. I will catch you guys on the next stream. Again, no stream on Saturday. Hit that notification bell because we may go Sunday. But for sure, we will be here starting our 4 days a week schedule on Monday. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Let's run out to this beat made by my friend named Z. G, what's going on, brother? I might have to freestyle for Ashley. My mind be running like it's in a marathon, but I'm gonna be the one. I gotta swing it. I'ma swing it when I kill it. I'ma swing it when I see it. I got things in the mirror. When I look at it, I be it. I'm just trying to be me or kill the game. When I'm rocking through my name, they can see it in the chain. You know that these people crazy. All these lanes be hating, they be jocking, steady watching. They not even on that Apple trying to watch me. No TikTok, man. You can keep it short on TikTok or let me watch. Damn, I'm out, bro. It's a long day. My head's not in it, bro. Y'all have a good night, though. Have a good night. Be safe. See you guys on the next one. Much love to Mike Porter. Much love to Mike. Don't okay me, Ashton. That was trash. That was one of those freestyles that you hear at a party and everybody's drunk and you think somebody's rapping for real. But look, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Much love to Mike Porter. Get well, brother. Rest up. Get out of that